On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Neurosurgeon.
A medical doctor who specializes in the surgical treatment of conditions affecting the nervous system, including the brain, spinal cord, and peripheral nerves.
Examples:
Skilled neurosurgeon. Leading neurosurgeon. The hospital recruited experienced neurosurgeons worldwide to treat complex neurological disorders comprehensively.
Patient.
A person who is receiving medical treatment, care, or attention from a healthcare professional, such as a doctor, nurse, or therapist, a personal quality or characteristic.
Examples:
Patient in the hospital. Patient with weight loss. The doctor carefully examined the patient's medical history.
Curative.
Having the power to cure or heal, relating to or intended for medical treatment or healing.
Examples:
Curative treatment. Curative effect. The natural hot springs were said to have curative properties for those with sore muscles and joints.
Breast.
Either of the two round soft parts of a woman's chest which secrete milk after childbirth.
Examples:
Breast cancer. The mountain's breast. He grilled the breast meat of a chicken.
Cancer.
Abnormal growth of cells that can invade and destroy surrounding tissues and organs. A disease characterized by the uncontrolled growth and spread of abnormal cells.
Examples:
Cancer diagnosis. Cancer research. Breast cancer is the most common type of cancer in women.
Prolapse.
The falling or slipping out of a place of an organ, particularly the uterus, bladder, or rectum, into a place where it doesn't belong or is not properly supported.
Examples:
Prolapse surgery. Prolapse of an organ. The prolapse of the uterine wall can cause discomfort and severe pain in women.
Cervical.
Relating to the neck or the cervix, equals the narrow passage forming the lower end of the uterus.
Examples:
Cervical cancer. Cervical spine. She must undergo a cervical screening to check for abnormalities in her reproductive system.
Disc.
A flat, circular plate, typically made of metal, glass, or plastic, used for storing data or playing music.
Examples:
Disk drive. Disk space. The computer's hard disk was full, so she had to delete some files.
Radiate.
To spread out or emit something, such as light or heat, in all directions.
Examples:
Radiate an aura. Radiate in all directions. Roads radiate from the famous building in the center of the city.
Tense.
Unable to relax because of being nervous or worried, stretched tight or rigid.
Examples:
Tense atmosphere. Have a tense face. This story makes me tense.
Consult.
To seek or get advice or information from a person, book, or other source having special knowledge on a particular subject.
Examples:
Regularly consult with a doctor. Consult my wallet. Always consult a lawyer before launching a business.
Decide.
To make up someone's mind about something. To come to a conclusion or judgment after considering options.
Examples:
Decide a question. Decide on a course of action. She couldn't decide whether to order the pizza or the pasta for dinner.
Incision.
A sharp cut made in something with a sharp tool, especially during a medical procedure.
Examples:
Incision tool. Small incision. Patients undergoing incisional surgery are often put to sleep by anesthesia.
Dissect.
To cut into pieces, to study the structure of something in detail.
Examples:
Dissect the data. Dissect a personality. The scientist dissected the frog to study its internal organs.
Trachea.
The tube-like structure in the body through which air moves from the larynx, equals a part of the human respiratory system located in the neck region, to the bronchi, equals part of the respiratory system and are responsible for conducting air into the lungs, also known as the windpipe.
Examples:
Trachea blockage. Trachea infection. Inhaling irritants can cause inflammation of the trachea and lead to coughing.
Esophagus.
The muscular tube that connects the mouth and throat to the stomach, which allows food to pass through.
Examples:
Esophagus reflux. Upper esophagus. The tumor in her esophagus was causing her difficulty in eating and drinking.
Internal.
Of or relating to the inside of something.
Examples:
Internal organs. The internal economy. The Prime Minister cancelled visits to other countries to resolve internal disputes.
Carotid.
Relating to the carotid artery, which supplies blood to the head and face.
Examples:
Carotid disease. Carotid stenosis. The doctor examined my carotid artery to check for any blockages or abnormalities.
Artery.
One of the thick tubes in humans and most other animals that takes blood away from the heart to one or more parts of the body, such as tissues, lungs, brain, etc.
Examples:
Artery blockage. Risk of coronary artery disease. Continuous consumption of fatty foods leads to the hardening of the artery.
Microscope.
An instrument used to see objects or substances that are too small to be seen with the naked eye.
Examples:
Microscope slide. Electron microscope. I used an optical microscope to observe the small organisms in the water sample.
Nervous.
Worried and anxious about something relating to the nerves.
Examples:
Development of the nervous system. Get nervous. He suffers from nervous breakdowns.
Dam.
A wall constructed over a river to block the flow of water, mainly used to generate energy.
Examples:
Dam building program. Dam collapsing. The break in the dam threatened the valley.
Cord.
A strong, thick, or thin thread or rope, a piece of plastic-coated wire used to transport electricity to a piece of equipment.
Examples:
Spinal cord. Electrical cord. Your spinal cord is located deep within your body.
Underneath.
Under or below something else.
Examples:
Underneath the surface of the water. Underneath the laughter. The penny fell underneath the piano.
Scenario.
A description of possible actions or events in the future, a written outline of a play, film, or literary work.
Examples:
The worst case scenario. Number of different scenarios. The president prepared several possible scenarios for an enemy attack.
Damage.
To harm or cause injury to something or someone, often resulting in decreased value or functionality, to impair or negatively affect something, such as a reputation or relationship. Noun, harm or injury that is caused to a person, thing, or entity.
Examples:
Damage a relationship. Damage assessment. During the surgery, the doctor had to be extremely cautious not to damage a blood vessel.
Paralysis.
A condition in which you are unable to move or lose control of part or most of the body because of illness or injury.
Examples:
Moral paralysis. Paralysis in the leg. Massive demonstrations lead to total paralysis of transportation.
Silent.
Without any or little sound.
Examples:
Silent reading. Give silent consent. The politician remained silent despite intense media scrutiny.
Utter.
Complete, total, or absolute, said, done, or experienced without any exceptions or qualifications, spoken aloud or enunciated very clearly and distinctly, verb, to speak or articulate words, sounds, or a voice.
Examples:
Utter nonsense. Utter a big sigh. The utter chaos of the concert crowd made it seem like a wild animal was in the room.
Decisive.
Making a clear and definite decision or choice, settling an issue.
Examples:
A decisive ballot. Decisive action. The decisive victory in the war ended years of conflict.
Practically.
Almost or nearly.
Examples:
Practically constant. Practically impossible to find a parking spot. The store is practically empty.
Relate.
To establish a connection or association between two or more things. To narrate or tell about an event, experience, or relationship. To empathize or feel sympathy with someone or something.
Examples:
Relate a story. Relate a message. He tried to relate his experience to the group, but they couldn't understand.
Architect.
A person whose job is to design plans to be used in making something, such as buildings.
Examples:
Landscape architect. Architect of the Peace Accord. The building architect tried to build the house above the tree.
Restriction.
A limitation or constraint placed on something, or the act of limiting or constraining something.
Examples:
Nutritional restriction. Restriction on trade. The restriction on travel during the pandemic made it difficult for people to see their loved ones.
Surgeon.
A doctor who is trained to perform medical operations that involve cutting open a person's body.
Examples:
An excellent brain surgeon. Army surgeon. He is a skilled surgeon that has many years of training and experience.
Statistics.
The discipline that concerns the collection, organization, analysis, interpretation, and presentation of data.
Examples:
Statistics for cancer. Official statistics. The statistics demonstrate that poverty and unemployment are genuine problems.
Tonsil.
Either of two masses of tissue situated on each side of the throat, behind the tongue, and between the pharynx and the palatoglossal arches.
Examples:
Tonsil stones. Swollen tonsils. My sore throat was caused by an infection in my tonsils.
Lump.
A small, irregularly shaped mass or piece, typically of a soft substance such as coal, flour, or dough.
Examples:
Lump in the throat. Single lump sum. There is a small lump on my neck, and I'm concerned about it.
Surgery.
Medical treatment of injuries or diseases involving an incision with instruments and often removing or replacing some parts of the body, the branch of medical science that treats disease or injury by operative procedures.
Examples:
cardiac surgery, the professor of surgery. He had undergone heart surgery years before.
Chart.
A visual display of information such as a diagram, lists of figures, etc., a map designed to assist navigation by air or sea.
Examples:
a weather chart, a statistical chart. This pie chart represents our market share.
Strike.
To wallop somebody or something with the hand, fist, or weapon, to have an emotional or cognitive impact upon.
Examples:
strike up a conversation, strike a blow. We strike to achieve more wages and safer working conditions.
Indication.
A sign or remark that something exists, is real, or is likely to occur.
Examples:
indication of inflation, environmental indication. Faces are a good indication of age.
Meniscus.
A thin, curved layer of liquid, especially the concave surface of a liquid in a container, a cartilage disc within a joint, especially a knee.
Examples:
medial meniscus, meniscus surgery. Basketball players risk damaging their meniscus more due to the constant jumping and quick movements.
Stabilize.
To become or cause to become steady or unlikely to give way.
Examples:
stabilize prices, stabilize blood sugar levels. The raising of interest rates stabilizes the inflation rate.
Fragment.
A small piece or part broken off or detached.
Examples:
fragment of a text, a broken fragment. The archaeologist carefully pieced together the tiny fragments of pottery found at the dig site.
Acute.
Extremely sharp or severe.
Examples:
acute pain, acute triangle. The patient died from acute alcohol intoxication.
Probable.
Likely to happen or likely to be true.
Examples:
probable outcome, probable cause of a fire. It seems probable that he has forgotten our scheduled meeting.
Procedure.
A way of doing something, especially the official or well-known way.
Examples:
undergo a surgical procedure, standard procedure. The pilot and flight attendant ran through the checkout procedure.
Clinic.
A building or hospital department where people can go for medical care or advice, especially of a particular condition.
Examples:
Visit to the veterinary clinic. A dental clinic. She holds a clinic on Tuesday mornings.
Indicate.
To show, point out, or make known something, often through a sign or a symbol, to suggest or imply something without stating it directly.
Examples:
Indicate a preference. Indicate an error. The data indicates that the company's profits have steadily increased over the past quarter.
Economy.
The system by which a country or region produces, manages, and distributes goods and services, including the money and finances involved in these activities, of an airline, the lowest priced, most basic option for seating in commercial travel.
Examples:
Economy of scale. Economy class. The economy of the country is struggling due to the recent political instability.
Motivation.
The reason or enthusiasm for acting or behaving in a particular way.
Examples:
Understand his motivation. Motivation for a change. A significant amount of motivation is required to be a teacher.
Recreation.
The activity that renews your health and spirits by enjoyment and relaxation, the act or process of making something that existed in the past exists or seems to exist again in a different time or place.
Examples:
Outdoor recreation. Recreation of the homeland. Basketball is their usual recreation after school.
Therapy.
The act of caring for someone through medication, remedial training, etc.
Examples:
Therapy for a patient. Field of gene therapy. I underwent aversion therapy for my addiction to alcohol.
Unnecessary.
Not needed or required, not essential or important.
Examples:
Unnecessary expense. Unnecessary hassle. The extra steps in the process were deemed unnecessary and removed to streamline production.
Variation.
The act or state of changing, a difference or change in the way something is done, made, or said.
Examples:
Variation of temperature. Gene variation. There is a lot of variation in the colors of flowers in the garden.
Decision.
The act or process of making up someone's mind about something, a choice or judgment reached after considering options.
Examples:
Decision authority. A selfish decision. She was struggling to make a decision between two job offers.
Overt.
Open, evident, or clear, especially in a way that is not intended to be secret.
Examples:
Overt hostility. Overt symptoms. His overt lack of enthusiasm was noticeable to everyone in the room.
Colleague.
One of a group of a coworker, especially in a profession or a business.
Examples.
Collaborate with colleagues. Former colleague. I decided to seek counseling on the advice of my colleague.
Investigate.
To conduct a systematic or formal inquiry to identify and evaluate the facts of a crime, problem, statement, etc., to establish the truth.
Examples.
Investigate the matter. Investigate a data leak. The committee investigated several apparent inconsistencies.
Prescribe.
Of a doctor, to advise and order the use of particular medicine or treatment for someone, especially in writing, to issue commands or orders for something.
Examples.
Prescribe a drug. Prescribe in the preceding paragraph. Federal bankruptcy laws prescribe the reorganization process.
Claim.
To assert that something is true, to demand or request something as one's own, to lay legal or moral right to something. Noun, a demand or assertion of a right or something that one believes to be true.
Examples.
Claim responsibility. False claim. He wants to claim ownership of the abandoned property.
Medical.
Relating to the treatment of illness or injuries, relating to the practice of medicine.
Examples.
A medical opinion. Temporary medical treatment. The medical team worked quickly to save the patient's life.
Sporty.
Having a stylish, athletic, or active appearance or character.
Examples.
Sporty car. Sporty outfit. The new car has a sporty design and a powerful engine, making it fun to drive on winding roads.
Cross-country.
Relating to or taking place across the open country rather than on roads or tracks, involving travel by foot, horse, or vehicle over rough terrain or through wilderness areas. Noun, a long-distance race or journey that takes place over rough or varied terrain, such as hills, forests, or fields.
Examples.
Cross-country road trip. Cross-country skiing. We had to take a cross-country flight because no direct flights were available.
Ache.
To experience a dull, persistent pain or discomfort, typically of moderate or low intensity. To feel a continuous dull pain.
Examples.
Ache abominably. Ache all the time. I ache all over after running a marathon yesterday.
Jog.
To run or move at a slow or leisurely pace, typically for exercise. To continue talking or writing without a definite plan or purpose.
Examples.
Jog in place. Jog my memory. She decided to jog around the park to clear her head.
Thorough.
Done completely, significantly careful and accurate.
Examples:
Thorough investigation. Provide thorough analysis. A thorough brushing helps to keep your mouth fresh.
Degenerate.
Of a person, animal, or plant, to become worse in health or physical condition.
Examples:
Degenerate into a disagreement. Degenerate into recession. The once thriving city has degenerated into a crime-ridden slum.
Spine.
The series of bones running down the center of the back that protect the spinal cord and support the body, the backbone or vertebral column.
Examples:
The spine of a book. A cervical spine injury. She has a minor curved spine due to desk work for many years.
Strained.
Tight, tense, or stretched, under pressure or stress, characterized by a lack of ease or naturalness.
Examples:
Strained relationship. Strained muscles. The musician's face showed a strained expression as he struggled to hit the high note.
Insure.
To provide coverage in the event of loss or damage.
Examples:
Insure my house against fire. Ensure domestic tranquility. I will insure my car before I go on a road trip.
Interpret.
To explain or assign the meaning of information, actions, etc.
Examples:
Interpret a graph. Interpret the question. Different people might interpret this news differently.
Scan.
To examine something hastily, with the eyes or with a machine, to get information.
Examples:
Scan the face of a man. Scan a document into PDF. She stood on the podium and scanned an audience.
Obvious.
Easy to see, discover, or understand.
Examples:
Obvious reasons. His conclusion was obvious. There are obvious differences between the two wine-producing regions.
Quitter.
A person who gives up easily or does not have the determination to finish what they have started.
Examples:
Easy quitter. Serial quitter. He was labeled as a quitter after he abandoned the project halfway.
Symptom.
Any sensation or change in body or mind that is experienced by a patient and is associated with a particular disease.
Examples:
Symptoms of low testosterone. Neurotic symptoms. The patient displays a symptom of a side effect.
Occasional.
happening or appearing at irregular intervals, not constant or regular.
Examples:
Occasional visitor, occasional assistance. She only visited her grandparents on occasional weekends.
Quadruple.
To consist of 4 items or people, to become 4 times as great or many.
Examples:
Quadruple the amount. Quadruple the price of gold. His stock earnings quadrupled.
Spot.
A particular location or place, a small round or roundish area, differing in color or feels from the surface around it.
Examples:
Beauty spot. A spot on his honor. This remote spot is rarely visited.
Opportune.
Suitable or happening at a time that is suitable or convenient for a particular purpose.
Examples:
Opportune occasion. An opportune remark. The phone rang at the most opportune time.
Diagnose.
To determine or distinguish the nature of a problem or an illness through a careful analysis.
Examples:
Diagnose the problem. Diagnose with CT scans. This device is used to diagnose brain cancer and other tumors.
Practitioner.
A person who works in a profession or occupation, such as a doctor, lawyer, or teacher.
Examples:
Practitioner of Buddhism. Practitioner of law. She is a practitioner of traditional Chinese medicine.
Tuberculosis.
An infectious disease usually caused by tubercle bacteria that can attack many parts of a person's body, especially their lungs.
Examples:
Died of tuberculosis. A medicine for tuberculosis. Tuberculosis used to be considered a fatal disease.
Sanatorium.
A medical facility or institution for the long-term treatment or care of people with chronic illnesses or diseases, especially tuberculosis.
Examples:
Military sanatorium. Sanatorium resort. In the early 1900s, tuberculosis patients would check into a sanatorium for treatment.
Trauma.
An emotional wound or shock often has long-lasting effects caused by a highly upsetting or shocking experience.
Examples:
Psychic trauma. Trauma care. Many civilians have suffered trauma as a result of the war.
Negative.
Having the quality of something bad or harmful, expressing refusal.
Examples:
Have a negative effect. A negative number. The movie has received almost universally negative criticism.
Suspicion.
The act of doubting something, especially something wrong.
Examples:
suspicion of fraud, cast suspicion. There was an almost certain suspicion that the company was involved in illegal activities.
Dare.
To have the courage to do something.
Examples:
Dare not go. Dare to take risks. I wouldn't dare to speak to him like that.
Confront.
To face, meet, or deal with a problem or difficult situation or person.
Examples:
Confront a global warming. Confront the issue. He finally decided to confront problems directly.
Minister.
A person appointed to or a job of a head of a government department.
Examples:
Minister for Education. Deputy Prime Minister. The minister occasionally preaches at this church.
Suppose.
To think that something is likely to be actual or possible.
Examples:
Suppose you're right. Suppose beforehand. What do you suppose the culprit's motive was?
Progression.
The act or process of changing to the next stage or phase or moving forward.
Examples:
Progression of civilization. Progression of disease. The company has made great strides in its progression towards sustainability.
Responsible.
Answerable or accountable for something within one's power, control, or management.
Examples:
Responsible action. Responsible for customer service. She's a responsible pet owner who ensures her dog gets enough exercise and a healthy diet.
Attach.
To fasten, join, or connect one thing to another.
Examples:
Attach firmly. Attach a file to an email. He does not attach importance to these rumors.
Worsen.
To become or make something worse.
Examples:
Worsen a relation. Worsen the food problem. Unilateral import bans have worsened that country's terms of trade.
Infection.
A condition in which pathogenic microorganisms or viruses have entered the body.
Examples:
A bacterial infection. Treat the infection with antibiotics. Hospitals must meet various standards to prevent nosocomial infections.
Hemorrhage.
Profuse bleeding, often caused by a ruptured vessel.
Examples:
Hemorrhage from a breast. Hemorrhage control. He had a severe brain hemorrhage that left him paralyzed.
Operate.
To work in a particular way, to supervise something.
Examples:
Operate 24 hours a day. Manually operate a machine. This machine is too difficult to operate for me.
Permanent.
Lasting for a long time without essential change.
Examples:
Literature of permanent value. Permanent life insurance. She is searching for a permanent residence.
Hoarse.
Having a rough or harsh-sounding voice, often due to illness, strain, or overuse of the vocal cords.
Examples:
Hoarse cough. Hoarse whisper. The teacher's voice became hoarse after lecturing for 3 hours.
Function.
The purpose or use of an object, system, or process, a particular activity or operation that is designed to serve a specific purpose, a mathematical concept that describes a relationship between two sets of values, called the input and output sets. Verb, to operate or work in a specific way, or to perform a particular task or purpose.
Examples:
Function properly. Immune function. The brain is an incredibly complex organ that controls the body's function.
Recommend.
To suggest that someone or something would be a suitable fit for a particular purpose or role.
Examples:
Recommend a hospitalization. Recommend reading. We recommend taking media training every 6 months.
Slight.
Very small in degree or amount.
Examples:
Feel a slight concern. Slight increase. We made slight modifications to reflect the views of both sides.
Toolbox.
A container or storage unit for tools, typically characterized by a handle and one or more compartments for organizing and storing various tools and equipment.
Examples:
Design toolbox. Toolbox storage. You should always keep a basic toolbox in your car in case of an emergency.
Antibiotic.
A substance or drug that kills or slows down the growth of bacteria.
Examples:
Antibiotic resistance. Antibiotic allergy. He has been prescribed an antibiotic to treat his infection.
Sector.
A distinct part or division of something often used to refer to a segment of an economy or industry, an area or field of work or activity.
Examples:
Industrial sector. Private sector. The technology sector is constantly evolving and innovating.